Good morning, folks. Pastor Rocky Branch. Hope you're doing well today. Well, been a busy morning so far. You know, God is blessed and God continues to bless. And when you deal with issues of life that are challenging to people, one of the things that you must understand is you must deal with those issues as if they're your issues. You know, counseling is a challenging thing at best when we talk with people about problems and issues. There's a guideline, of course, we go by. That's the Bible. We don't change that. But the application is very important. Sometimes when there's a situation where it's a do or a don't, and you put in there an absolute at that particular time, sometimes you can drive folks away. You have to kind of work with it a little bit. And all of us have issues. I mean, I don't know anyone that doesn't have a few challenges along the way. But our God is able. You know, as you get a little older, you have life challenges that you don't have when you're in your 20s and 30s. When you get in your 50s, 60s, 70s, things begin to change. Priorities begin to change. Life lessons begin to change. When you lose a loved one, or you have a separation, or you have an anxiety, or whatever, well, it's all different then. So to be spirit-led is very important. When you try to talk to someone, when you try to encourage someone, it's very important to do as much as possible of put yourself in their place. Now, that's not easy a lot of times, but sometimes it's easier than you think. If you would just step back a moment and say, now, if I absolutely were in this situation, how would I feel? Well, the first answer is I don't know, because I'm not in the situation. That is where the Spirit of God comes in. That the Spirit of God can comfort the person that you're dealing with and give you the empathy that you need to help them. It's a value system that's very important. I have been a person for a long time that believes that you should be available for people, and sometimes it gets a little weary, but that's not the point. The point is that people at certain times in their life are ready to do certain things. Now hear me. People at certain times in their life are ready to do certain things, and if someone is not available for them with the Spirit of God and the durability of Christ, well, they'll miss the chance, and they may not come back around. They may say, I was there, I was at the point, God didn't help me, and even though that's unfair in some ways, it's still true in other ways, because God has equipped you, and He has equipped me to be a vessel that can be used by the Master's hand. And it's very important to know that we have a responsibility, and we have an ability to be available. You say, well, my gracious alive, I can't solve everyone's problems. No, that's exactly wrong. You can't solve anybody's problems, but God can solve them. And God can help them, and God can direct them, and He'll use you, He'll use me, He'll use us, but we must be willing. You see, to get involved in people's lives takes time, and most people don't want to give that up because they want to be tied up with what they're doing. They got their own agenda. They really don't have the time to fool with someone else, especially when they've done it well once, twice, 3 times, 5 times, and they have concluded this person doesn't care. Let me tell you, I've been in that situation before. I've been in a situation where I've dealt with people over and over and over and over and over again, but I have never, by God's grace so far, slammed the door and said, you can't come back. I have limited the times of coming because of the lack of progress, but still the door has always been open. Let me encourage you today that maybe there's somebody that is at the gas station, at the department store, maybe someone at the grocery store, maybe someone in the community, maybe someone in the school, maybe someone in the area that you're going to be today that may be overburdened a little bit, and they could use a smile and a good how are you today with sincerity. You know, that's one of the things that we say more in life and don't mean at all. How are you? Well, most people don't care how people are, and I understand that because we're busy. It's just something that we do out of courtesy. But I contend today to ask people, how are you, and can be concerned about how they are. And talk to them for a moment. I really believe that if you and I will take just a few minutes of our time and try to invest in other people, well, I believe God will bless you for that. You say, well, I get aggravated with them. Well, hey, join the crowd. I say for a reason, is there anybody you'd like to choke? I don't say that just because it's funny. I say because sometimes there's people you'd like to choke. Just don't do it. See, we must press on, beloved. Jesus Christ did not give up on us, and we should not give up on others. You say, but Pastor, hold on. I've been dealing with people, a family member, a child, whatever, and forever. Listen, there's ways, proper ways, by the way, to deal with issues. There's ways that you must deal with issues that are better, that the person would consider being cut off, but actually you're not cutting them off at all. You're actually giving them over to God. So there are proper ways of dealing with issues, but make sure they're proper, you see. If you ever have taken psychology classes, there's a study in psychology classes that they have 11 people on a boat that holds 10 people. And the psychology question is, what do you do? Well, in psychology, which is practical thinking of the mind, we eliminate the weakest link. So, within the 11, they look around who cannot contribute to society, who does not have futuristic skills, who is going to be inadequate to fulfill their life's duty. And therefore, because there's only 10 spots and the weakest one, he's got to go or she's got to go, so they chuck them in the water and 10 can survive comfortably. That's the psychology model in many cases to study the mind and how the mind thinks. The problem with that is Christianity overrides that. Christianity overrides that 5 people hang off the side of the boat in the water while 6 are on the boat, and then they switch in and out, letting others hang off the water, off of the boat into the water, and they take their turn saving everyone on the boat. That's Christianity. So let me encourage you today that maybe there's somebody out there that needs to hang off the boat. Maybe there's someone out there that needs to get in the boat, but everyone needs a shot at being redeemed. And you and I, by the grace of God, can make that difference. So, do the best you can. And if you do that through the will of God and the Spirit of God and the direction of God, well, God will bless you for it. Sorry I'm late today, but in your situation, I believe I'm right on time by the grace of God. God bless you. We love you, and goodbye.